to Budeshi, where we get to open it to fix it. Alongside the PPDC, of course, it's brought to you courtesy of the PPDC. Welcome, people. 11 minutes past 8 o'clock. And today we have something pretty interesting that we'll be talking about. Now, the Nigerian Educational Research Development Council, NERDC, and the Public and Private Development Center, with support from Google, held a 5-day writing workshop for the adoption of online safety courses into the Nigerian school curriculum. You know how we have been talking about online safety alongside the strides that the PPDC has been taking along with its partners. Well, to shed more light on what was done within that time frame, we have in the studio this morning Dr. Grace Ajagun, and we also have Chidima Ude, who is a program officer, DC. Good morning, ma'am.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. Let's start with you, Chidima. Please tell us about PPDC's relationship with the Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council, NERDC.
Okay. So, with support from Google, we started this journey last year. And when we conceived the idea to adopt online safety curriculum into the Nigerian into the Nigerian curriculum system, we decided, okay, we carried out a lot of research. And during our research, we discovered that NERDC is actually the agency responsible for curriculum development. And we approached them, we pitched our ideas to them, and after various vigorous meetings, we eventually signed an official MOU that strengthened our relationship in order for us to commence and embark on this project.
Okay, so this MOU strengthened relationship,
Yes.
but did it do anything with regards, making any progress in actually having, this input in the curriculum as it was intended from the beginning?
Yes, so with the MOU, of course, there was also a work, an action plan, a work plan that guided the whole process.
Okay.
So with the MOU, we started the process of adopting online safety courses into the Nigerian school curriculum, and there are 4 stages. And so far, we've successfully completed 2. Last year, towards the end of December 2018, we carried out the concept planning and development stage of the project. And during that stage, we were able to identify the core skills, the themes, and the topics and other career subjects that this online safety can be infused in.
Yeah.
And then last month, we also concluded the writing workshop, which was actually the main part of the main work when it comes to the curriculum development. We developed a document, and during the workshop, we were able to identify the objectives, we were able to identify teachers and learners activities, evaluation guides, and resource materials that will be needed. So at the moment, we have a working document, and we are looking forward to the completion of the other remaining 2 stages.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, it shows that you've gone a long way, and I'm sure you'll be giving us an update as to how that gets to unfold. Now, let's come to you, Dr. Ajago. Kindly tell us NERDC's mission and vision for transforming the educational system in Nigeria.
NERDC is a government organization to bring about innovation into the curriculum of schools, particularly those of the primary, junior secondary, and senior secondary schools. But you know that our products go into the tertiary education, so our mandate also permits us to make input into the tertiary education curriculum. And as that, our mission is to build and sustain a culture of strategic educational research and development that inform the formulation and effective implementation of policies in education as well as in other sectors of the economy. With that mission at heart, our vision is to create an enabling environment in which educational research and development activities will thrive. In the process, not only encourage collaboration with international development partners and other national partners like PPDC, but also foster public partnership in our bid to render educational research and development efforts sustainable, needs and needs driven. So that's our vision.
Okay. All right. So, why is the NERDC particularly interested in this issue of online safety and how it should be put in Nigerian curriculums? What spurred that interest?
We have the mandate to bring about good quality education through curriculum development. And curriculum is not a static thing. It's dynamic. It moves with the dictates of the society. You know that now everybody's life, even the unborn child, his life is being affected by technology.
True.
And particularly in schools, the information technology is affecting all the activities in schools. So with this, in 2006, earlier between 2006 and 2007 respectively, NERDC had introduced computer studies and IT studies into basic education and senior secondary school. Prior to that, there was nothing like that in the school curriculum. Those curricula are due for review, and we know that between that time and now, a lot of thinking has taken place, modern thinking, new developments in this discipline and so on. And therefore, we have to review the curriculum. And one of such modern developments is the ongoing threat online. We have come to realize that children, even very young children, even up to the pre-primary school, use tablets,
Internet, yes.
They use the internet, and there are many threats on the internet that are not good for their development. And we need to start now to start educating them on how to use this internet safely. So that is why when PPDC came to us, well, and our curriculum is due for review, and of course we have a policy of collaborating and partnering with partner agencies, national agencies as well as international agencies to improve the quality of the education that we give to children in school. It was a welcome development, and we took the opportunity.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Now, we all know that the internet has made the world a sort of global village. That is no doubt, because even as we talk here on radio, people listen to us from different parts of the world. Different continents, different countries can listen to this particular program that we're even hosting right now. Now, in the same vein, we know that digital responsibility is also global. So how are you working to ensure that the lessons from the online safety curriculum being developed here in Nigeria speak to the global opportunities and challenges of digitalization?
First of all, in terms of the curriculum itself, is content that the children are going to learn. We were, throughout the period, the two workshops that we have held, we have brainstormed extensively on what is the global concern as far as online safety is concerned. And we have discovered that the concern is mainly on issues of safety, privacy, and being a responsible global digital citizen. And those three concerns were our main focus. And because of that, during the writing workshop, with the guidance of PPDC and NERDC, we were able to guide our resource persons, because curriculum is a collaborative thing. We don't sit in our office to write something and send to schools. We invite stakeholders, parents, teachers, educators at all levels to join us to do that. And that's why we take different, we do it in different phases. So we were able to guide them properly to be able to align the themes and contents of this online safety curriculum with the global concerns. And based on that, I think 4 major themes that guided the arrangement of the curriculum content, even the selection of the topics to be put in the curriculum, were the issues of internet safety, because everybody now uses the internet, privacy and security. We need to secure ourselves when we are on the internet, and then even our materials that are there have to be secure and protected from people who might want to use them for other dubious activities. And then information literacy is also another thing, because for these children, they are going to live in the 21st century, and they need to acquire the skills to be able to use information and communication tools and equipment effectively, and even communicate effectively with themselves, with their peers within Nigeria as well as across the world. And communicating also entails responsibility. So information literacy was a key theme that we considered, as well as digital citizenship, because now everything is going online. Virtually, I think maybe in the near future we'll be doing almost everything. Right now we are even buying and selling online. You can do your shopping online and people will deliver your shopping to your house and so on and so forth. And we can see a situation where this, in another 5 to 10 years, this will advance even further. And that is why digital citizenship is very important. The children should not only be able to use the digital tools effectively, but they should be able to behave responsibly when they are online, as well as recognize threats online and be able to protect themselves as well as others.
All right, so Doc, we'll come back to you, but let's bring you in, Chima, once again. I know that you've spoken about how important it is to integrate the online safety courses into Nigerian school curriculum, but let's talk about the stages, the stage where you are now with implementing this, and how quickly will we begin to see results, as the curriculum is introduced and it begins to be taught and all of that. How quickly do we expect to see results? What stage are we?
So the stage we are at now, like I mentioned earlier, there are 4 stages. What we are developing now is a standalone curriculum. Okay. So by the time we have that standalone curriculum, we can now infuse it into the computer studies and other career studies that we have also identified. So that whether all Nigerian students, whether you are art or science students, you will also gain the fundamental knowledge of digital safety. So we are able to put that into consideration. So now what we are left with for that standalone curriculum is the critique and the editorial. So once these 2 are done, we can now present it to the JCCE, which is the Joint Consultative Committee on Education, and also the NCE, which is the National Council on Education. But however, these 2 can only happen when the government fix a date. So the date is still unknown until it's been announced. Then we can present the document to the committee for further approval. Okay, so
can you demystify this whole phrase of online safety courses? What particularly, can you give us an example of what people should expect when they hear of an online safety course?
Okay, so when they hear of online safety course, it's not about how to use computers. This is about, okay, I'm going on the internet. I have to bear in mind that I have to wear my safety hat. When I go on the internet, there are so many things that can happen. I can bump into the nice people, then I'll maximize my opportunities, search for scholarships and bursaries, and put out my content there that can motivate a lot of people. But there are also the negative people that are using this good internet to hunt people, and we realize that children are the most vulnerable ones. They are so curious about the internet. They want to have their tablets, they want to go on the internet, so they are very curious. So when they hear about online safety, the first thing they should bear in mind that I have to put on my safety hat. I have to be responsible. I have to respect people's opinions. I have to know that, okay, even if I encounter a bully, I shouldn't defend myself by being a bully. I have to know the precautions that I should take so that I don't get bullied, and I don't turn out to be a bully myself. So you have to be responsible. You also have to empower others. This is actually voicing out, because we realize that teenagers, they understand each other. It's different when a teacher is teaching a student about a particular subject. But we also, through this course, want to also empower them so that they will also be online superheroes, like you have your Superman and all that, so that when they go out there, they can write content and put out content out there that their parents can read and see, okay, if a 12-year-old is actually advocating for online safety, then I should also stay safe online. They are all on the internet, mostly Facebook, because all they need to do is just to lie about their age, and They're
That's
already
all.
on. That's all they need to do. There's no
And you can be anybody
facial
on the
or
internet.
an artificial intelligence that will be like, okay, no, you are
Oh,
not
this is
this
a
age.
child,
No.
or-
So they lie about their age. When I go for trainings, the first question I ask them is, how many of you are on social media? And these are like JS1, JS2, and most of them will put up their hands. I'm like, okay, but if you're not 13 and above, as Facebook have said, you're not supposed to be on social media. Like, no, but we can just change the date of birth and we can be on social media. So online safety is very important. The world is going digital. The world is like evolving each and every day when it comes to digital and technology. So we have to empower these kids, not just training them, because once you empower them, they take up the ownership of knowing the fact that, okay, I really have to be safe on this internet. And moreover, if I'm safe, that means I can now be able to maximize my opportunities. If I'm safe, I'll be less concerned about the bad influences that are on the internet. Then I'll be more concerned about all the internet has so many benefits, like lots and lots of benefits on the internet. So we want to position their mind that whenever you go on the internet, whether you are doing your schoolwork or whether you are doing your projects
Or
and
you're
all
playing
that,
a game,
or you are
or you're
playing
watching
a
a
game,
video.
like there was this rumor that there was this challenge that came it came out last month about Mo. It's like a cartoon character, and it's a very scary cartoon character, and it's been haunting teenagers. You know, when they watch their cartoons online or play games online, it pops up and then it tells them to do some funny things, like most of them tell them to cut their hands or cause harm on their family members, and will threaten them that if they don't do it, they will kill them. So they instigate that fear in them, and they start acting out what those
things are
demanding from them. So then once they're aware that, okay, there are good and there are bad, then they will know how to actually defend themselves. So
All right, so let's come back to you, Doctor. Can you please tell us the council's responsibilities towards the successful completion of these projects and the entire processes involved in curriculum development up to the stage of maybe JSC and NC?
Yes, actually we have taken full ownership. So we are collaborating with PPDC, and Google is funding it, but it is the council's project. And for that we take it very serious. Even before we have already, at the last JCC at Oka, we actually presented a memo to JCC intimating them that this kind of thing is coming into the school system, and the benefits for the school system, as well as the background to us bringing on board online safety into the curriculum. So we have actually started, and it is our responsibility to drive the process. We know the resource persons. Of course, in collaboration with Google, we are not saying that they don't know people who are experts in this, but we collaborate, they suggest to us and so on. But even then, in terms of crafting the curriculum, we have to guide the experts on what we need based on the aims and objectives of either basic education or senior secondary education in Nigeria. We have done that, and I would say that this developing the curriculum, as she said, the first stage is actually to take it up to NCE for approval. It's just the beginning. Once we have that, infusion comes in, and then infusion comes in with capacity building, and then it now sets the stage for a lot of things to happen, because no institution can fully put out sufficient learning materials for teaching a particular curriculum content. So that is why we welcome on board people that have the expertise in that. But apart from that, we have to censor what they want to put in our schools. So it starts the beginning of a whole lot of activities coming on board after even long after the project must have come to conclusion between us and Google and PPDC. for example, they are talking about making children champions, online safety champions in school. They have a Web Rangers Club, and they have to introduce it to the schools. We are ready to partner with them with that in that. And then even private authors and content writers, teachers. Once the curriculum is out, they can pick this curriculum and start writing model lesson plans, and start writing model digital lessons. And you know, for every topic, if there are 20 people teaching the same topic, they are not going to teach it in the same way. So there is no end to the content that will come up there. And it's a whole hub of activities for even ourselves in NERDC, whether it's official or private, because we too, we are working for government, but we can also write our own content and put it there. That for teachers to use. PPDC can do the same, and other authors, even Google can do the same. Other authors, provided they follow the curriculum that has been developed, and the curriculum has clearly spelled out the objectives, and the objectives are tied to our national aspirations and our national goals and objectives. So the activities that are coming on board are endless, both for NERDC staff and PPDC and other Nigerian citizens. Even myself, I expect a situation whereby even when I retire from NERDC, I'm no longer an active serving person, I can write content and put there.
Indeed.
I can write content and put there continuously until maybe by nature I'm no longer fit to do so. So it's an endless activity.
So we hope to see a lot being done with this regard, and as a result of this work, putting especially the vulnerable group like Chidima harped, the children, the teenagers who are really curious and do a whole lot of activities on the internet, that their safety is guaranteed, that no harm comes out of something that is meant to actually have a positive impact on them. We've been talking with Chidima Ude, Program Officer DC, of the Public and Private Development Center, and Dr. Grace Ajagun. For those of you who are just joining us, we discussed a 5-day writing workshop for the adoption of online safety courses into the Nigerian school curriculum, a partnership that the PPDC has developed with the NERDC, and they've been telling us all the modalities that have been set in motion to ensure that this is achieved in our school curriculum, as we look forward to that happening. We'll just be taking 1 or 2 reactions. If you have questions or you have thoughts and comments, please call in on 094600 951. Hello? Okay, unfortunately we lost that. You can call us back before we say our goodbyes on the show. And while we wait for more thoughts and comments to be brought in by our listeners, I would like to maybe have your final words. Oh, yeah, this person is back. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Swag.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is Bryce, Victoria Taking.
Welcome, Bryce.
Yeah, wonderful program you have. Quickly, I wanted to chip in something. I think, I don't know if UNESCO, if at any point in time they plan to invite UNESCO, because I also know that it's something of such that is going on with UNESCO. I will really appreciate if the people in actually, the UNESCO person has been trying to get through to you first, and also the people in the studio. But I just want to say that sometimes these programs are children who are parents buying sophisticated device for their children. I know even in developed society, there's certain age before you allow children to have access to these things. Otherwise, even when you buy your internet at home, your data, there are ways you can block all these pop-ups. For instance, one of the networks, you go to their settings, you block all video pop-ups, all downloads, and all things that can be streamed. So if you strip all these things from them, for majority of the people do not know it. Even on the adult phone, majority of them do not know it. So I think another thing you should bring is people who are experts on how these things work on our simple day-to-day device. So that will also help people to know that we can do this with our phone.
All right.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Thank
Very
you, Bright.
much.
Great contribution there. I hope PPDC is taking note of all those contributions and suggestions brought in. All right, we have somebody here. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And this is Abella calling from Lokogoma.
Welcome.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask the guests in the studio when the implementation is going to start.
Okay.
Okay. When is it going to
Asking
start
for
the
a date,
implementation?
right?
Okay, so
Yes,
we are still.
what year they start, because they usually run curriculum for years and then start implementation at a certain year. So that we know, I'm a head teacher, I want to know when this is going to start getting implemented.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I should answer that. I did mention at the beginning that the basic education, if you're a head teacher, maybe you are in a primary or junior secondary school, or your school has both, the basic
Yes, sir.
education curriculum will be due for review next year. But the senior
Okay.
secondary school curriculum is already due for review. Right now, what we are doing is to work proactively to develop a standalone online safety curriculum and its teachers' guides, and then review the computer studies curriculum for senior secondary school and infuse these elements into the senior secondary school. And as Chidima mentioned earlier, we do not know, we don't have the dates for the JCC NCE. This is fixed by government. So we are working ahead to make sure that once the JCC is called, or we will be able to take it there. And it's after the approval of the JCC that we can talk about introducing it into schools.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
So we cannot give you an exact date right now, but
Okay.
you'll be duly informed through these programs as we progress. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Well, we'd have to close the show here because time has run out. But before we go, we'd like to take your final thoughts. Let's start with you, Chidima.
Okay, so for me, my final thoughts would be on, if you want to know and follow us on all that we do, all our activities, including this online safety curriculum project, kindly do that by following us on Twitter and Instagram at DC Nigeria, DC_Nigeria, which is DISI_Nigeria. And also we're on Facebook as DC Nigeria, which is just DISI Nigeria. We are very active and we always publish and update our all that we do on social media. So kindly follow us.
Doctor?
Yes, from me, we at NERDC, as I said, the curriculum is a collaborative effort. Parents, teachers, individuals, even IT program developers are involved in curriculum development. So I would like to call on all that this project has started, and in their own niche, they should promote this, because a question was raised here, what about by the other person that phoned in, what about parents who don't know and buy these materials?
Yeah.
There will be a lot of educational materials, handbills and so on to educate virtually every member of the society, parents on what to do to protect their children and keep their children safe online, children what to do to keep themselves safe online, teachers what to do in schools to protect the children that are placed in their care, and so on and so forth. And we all have a role to play if we are to achieve the goals of this online safety curriculum. And I'm calling on all to be a partner in this project. Thank you.
Okay, so that's how it's been today on this episode of Budeshi. Budeshi comes your way every Friday at 8:05. Courtesy of the public PPDC that brings to the fore all the works they're carrying out in terms of, public, ensuring that, whatever is done, whether at the public sector, that is followed up, and the reports are brought to us from different, sectors. And it's always been an interesting session to have them here. This time around, we're looking at the work and the strides they're taking in terms of ensuring that there is online safety courses, or it is put in the courses of the Nigerian school curriculum. Thank you so much for coming over. We look forward to having you next week, Friday. And Dr. Ajano, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.